We hear you. What's up, YouTube? I'm back working on the Pantera again today. I was supposed to be doing a 2-year video with this car because February was the 2-year mark since I've owned this car, and I wanted to kind of do just an overall video about owning the car, working on the car, the build, and all the stuff I've done with the car and driving the car, stuff like that. The other day, I had the wheels off. I was trying to get the squeak out of the brakes. It's been squeaking since I've owned the car. You know, it usually just goes away after the brakes are heated up. But I remembered that the rotor on this driver's side had a gouge in the back side of it. And then it kind of slipped my mind. I wasn't thinking about it because I think I was just so happy driving the car and being able to get it out to shows and stuff. I've got to pull this rotor off and get it replaced. So that's what I'm going to work on this morning. And I'm going to have to end up doing the ball joints. I don't know when they were done last. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger and just do all 4 of them on the front here. I feel a lot safer taking this thing down the highway with that done. So I'm going to jump in here, pull this wheel off, and get this brake disassembled and pulled apart, and I'll show you what I got. Wasn't too bad. Here is what the spindle looks like. Decent shape. So yeah, see these bushings, they need to be replaced. I'm not gonna chance that. So I'm gonna get these on order. You can see I've already got these replaced when I did the coilovers all the way around and replaced all those. Those are holding up well. That tells me everything is adjusted correctly, because last time they got eaten up like right away after I put them on. So a few minor adjustments and we're good to go. Well, now that I have it off, you can see this groove that was cut in. I mean, just all the way around. That's pretty deep. So I'm gonna get this disc portion off of here and then do some investigating and some measuring. And then I think I can get this piece from Summit Racing down the road. Voila. Cool. All right, I am back. It's been about a week since I tore everything apart, but I have all of the ball joints, both new rotors, and I'm gonna get to work on this thing, and I'm gonna show you something that I just found out about these rotors and the way that the previous ones were installed on this car. All right, time to put the hub onto the new rotor. So I double checked, this is indeed the driver's side, according to their part number. Let's see what old Will Wood has to say. Don't drive on untested brakes. Okay, got it. This brake should only be installed by someone experienced and competent in the installation and maintenance of disc brakes. I'm out. If you're not sure of how to safely use this brake component or kit, you should not install it or use it. Do not assume anything. Improperly installed or maintained brakes are dangerous. If you're not sure, get help or return the product. All right, we're good. We're gonna forge ahead. This
hub has been greased. All the bolts have been put in with red Loctite and torqued down to 22 foot-pounds. And then I go ahead and I mark everything. I'm kind of a nerd like that with a paint marker, just so I know that it's been tightened. I've double checked it. And then as a visual to see if anything moves later on down the road when you're doing inspections and stuff. You can just take a quick glance and look at your paint marker lines and you'll know if anything is loosened up. This is a rotor that came off the driver's side. And if you look at it this way, this is where the hub bolts to it. So the front of the car would actually be this way, and you can see the way these fins inside are facing. This is technically not correct. This particular rotor should have been on the passenger side so that the fins go like this. And the way I figured that out is when I called Willwood to find out what rotor I needed, they gave me two different part numbers and they are side specific. So there's a right hand and a left hand side, and that's the difference. It's going to now cool the hubs and the rotors and everything the way it was designed to do. You know, it's a simple mistake to, you know, get these things mixed up, because if you don't take them straight out of a box with a part number, you really don't know unless, you know, you've done it before and you're familiar with these fins and blah, blah, blah. Well, if I didn't talk to somebody or see part numbers, I probably would have screwed it up too. So here are the ball joints. And I got these off of eBay from a company called Maserati Source. They seem to carry quite a bit of parts for some of these old Italian cars. This is the top ball joint, and they bolt right in, which is really nice. And this is the bottom ball joint, also bolts right in. Your adjustment is actually on the top one, and I'll show you that in a bit when I get this thing all torn apart. But here we are, new ball joints, everything ready to go, ready to bolt right in. Hopefully this will be somewhat simple compared to replacing ball joints on other vehicles. Something to pay attention to when you're pulling these apart on the Pantera is there are some shims right here. Looks like there's 3 little ones here and then 1 thick one there. Just, you know, make note of where they are so that when you put it back together, you put it back as is. And then what I did was I went and scribed on the inside here 2 marks where this lines up. You can see that it's adjusted just a little bit, so I wanted to get it back right exactly where it was. Here is the driver's side done. So upper, lower. It wasn't too difficult. The hardest part was lining up the shock again and getting that bolt back through. I actually need to take these bolts off and flip them so that they're going that way, because you want these bolts actually facing backwards so that the head of the bolt is the way the car is traveling. All right, now we're good. So the bolts are going the right way. Same down here. Nice and tight. Yeah, that's gonna be a much better ride, I think. We shall know shortly. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of this all bolted up and get the spindle on here and get everything tightened down. Voila. Everything is back together. Got the steering arm on, sway bar tightened up to the lower control arm. Spindle's on, everything's nice and tight. Cotter pins are in. Here's the passenger side spindle. Obviously, you can see the ball joints are pretty much shot. But what is this crap? People, don't do that. Just don't do that. Here it is. Good to go. Look at that. Spins nice and freely, nice and smooth, not binding anywhere. I'm going to clean up the rotor, get the caliper back on, and this side should be good to go. I was able to move my lift. It's pretty cool. This is a quick lift. You put these casters underneath it and you can slide this thing, you know, wherever you need to in your garage. It's actually coming really handy today, thank goodness. If you're looking for something for your garage, you should definitely check one of these out. And then when I'm not using it as a lift, I actually remove these and I put this basically on the floor, and then I have these little ramps over there that go at the end, and I just drive the car straight up on it so it can sit flat on the garage floor. And it's super easy to put these on when you want to jack it up and use a lift. So if you guys are looking for a lift, you want something fairly cheap, this is definitely something to look into. It's called a quick lift.
That's it. Passenger side is done. Driver side is done. It's time to get this thing off the lift and take it for a test drive and see how she does. Everything is nice and tight, nice and clean, shiny, and new. So yeah, can't wait to get this thing out and see how that front end feels. So that's the end of this project. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay hungry, stay foolish.